This episode could be a little controversial. I am a white male, but I will be covering the topic of discrimination. As a 10-year-old growing up on the West Coast, I had a close friend, and he was indigenous. I was fully aware how European invaders took advantage of locals. My grandfather made a homestead and developed the land near where I currently live. As a youth in elementary school, I saw many Chinese and Black American people. The government at the time decided to promote immigration of South Asians, and there was a few children attending school that had turbans, carried knives, and had a steel bracelet around their wrist. These kids were of the Sikh faith. At school, most hung out with those of the same religion, while the white, black, and Asian kids intermingled, not caring about race, religion, or color of skin. After a while, some South Asians would adjust and join our groups. Years later, I was coaching a soccer team with 40% South Asian and the balance a mix of white, black, and Asian. The team made it to the regional finals and the white goalie got hurt. My brother volunteered to fill in as the goalkeeper. We lost the game, but I remember one thing, and that was the South Asian dads talking in their language and looking like they were complaining. My brother was crying after the game, and I asked him what was the matter. He mentioned all the South Asian teammates were insulting him and calling him trailer park trash because the parents were calling me the same thing during the loss. They blamed the white guys for the loss. Many years later, and my son wanted to play spring soccer after ice hockey season was over. I noticed there was a South Asian team, and I registered him to play on the team. I figured it was almost a generation later they would be welcoming to him. I took him to practice, and one day he is crying after the practice is over, and I asked him why. He didn't want to tell me. So the next practice I watched from a distance. My son checks a player and takes the ball from him. The other kid trips him on purpose. This happens a couple times, and then my son shoves the boy back. The coach yells at my son and lectures him about that he shouldn't be disrespectful to his teammates. Later in the soccer practice, my son has the ball and is looking to pass it. 4 of his teammates trip him, kick him while he's laying on the grass pitch, and after the lynching, the coach gives the high fives to each player for hurting my son. I pull him from the team. The neighborhood we lived in was mostly white families when we moved there over 20 years ago. With time, properties were being subdivided, trees were being knocked down, and our neighborhood had many larger houses with basement suites and cars parked on the road because of all the people living in one house. It wasn't a single-family residence, but more like a small apartment to pay for mortgages for the owners of the homes. My wife and I decided to sell our house and move to a different part of town. Our house was listed for the going price of an acreage. We were not getting offers because it was too much for a knockdown, even though our average house was completely livable as is. Due to the change in demographics, whites, blacks, and Asians did not even consider looking at our house. Near the end of our listing, the realtor brought an offer for assessed value of our land. My wife and I turned down the offer, and the South Asian realtor ripped into us, telling us that we live in their neighborhood and that we don't belong and we are not welcome. Today, we still live in the house and we are patiently waiting for the right offer before we move. I don't want to paint South Asians as the only culture that has treated me this way. I did apply to become a police officer once, and the police chief told the entire auditorium that if you are a white male, you might as well walk out. We are not hiring you. Also, my British co-workers have made ugly comments about me because I have a Slavic background. I called out one co-worker when it happened, and he told me that he can't be a racist because his wife is Asian and his daughter is half-breed. Perhaps he could be a bigot. Another co-worker made a comment to me when I mentioned my daughter is dating a South Asian boy. He made the comment about another white will be destroyed and that my grandchildren won't be white. I told him as long as my daughter and her boyfriend love and respect each other, it shouldn't matter about the color of your skin.